What's up, everybody? It's Fireplace Friday. I'm Jeremy with Fluesbrothers Chimney Service. It's another great day outside. It's been really nice this week. The weather's been a lot nicer. It's supposed to cool off a little bit over the weekend, a little bit next week, but it's still tolerable if you ask me. There's no ice, there's no tons of snow, things like that. So anyways, alright, got a thumbs up, awesome. So what we're going to talk about today, hey Tom, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to go back into some more tips on how to be a good customer. If you looked at this and from last week, we had tips on a successful service call, things that you need to do. One, the most important one was be present. 2, ask questions. 3, don't shoot the messenger. Don't argue, get mean, angry, ask for your money back or what have you, depending on the results, because that's why you're calling, to have the chimney inspected, have it clean, and no matter what you like or don't like, you still want to know what shape it's in so you can make a good decision on whether you should be using this or not. And then make decisions on what you want, So that's what we covered last time we had a Fireplace Friday. This time we're going to talk about a huge income loser for companies and businesses, and one reason why companies have to charge what they charge, because anything that costs money, just like if you go to work every day and you pay bills cost money. It costs money to own a house, it costs money to drive a car, it costs money to own these things. Businesses have losses, and businesses have hidden fees and things like that they have to incur, and we try to limit those by our actions, and I'll tell you what we do here at Fluesbrothers to limit these things. But number one income loser in businesses is no-shows and last-minute cancellations. No-shows, last-minute cancellations. Now, this isn't something on the company. Most service companies, unlike hospitals and doctors' offices and dentist offices and things, they will double or triple book your appointment. That's why you have to wait in a waiting room for so long. That's why it takes so long to get things done. Now, I have a dentist that doesn't double book. Thank God. He's a great dentist. If anybody needs a referral for a dentist, let me know. He does a great job for us, and he doesn't double book. But most doctors' offices and dentist offices and things like that do. We, as a service business, we do not double book. We don't double book appointments. We give a very small window of time for our arrival. It's usually just a couple hours. Unless you sign up for the first appointment of the day, we only have a 30-minute window of arrival. So, and then we call you en route. But I'm going to get into that stuff later. We're going to get into a thing that happens a lot this time of year and happens throughout the year is no-shows or last-minute cancellations. And a lot of people think, oh, well, I had something else pop up, I'll just cancel or whatever. They don't realize the impact that has on the business, that they've already spent a lot of time with you, setting everything up, getting information from you for you to no-show or cancel at the last minute. If you do have to cancel for something or what have you, it's best to do it 24 to 48 hours before the appointment. Earlier, sooner, everything is better. Another thing that happens a lot is this time of year, a lot of companies get very backed up, or say you got a dermatologist appointment or something. I know I tried to make a dermatologist appointment. They're booked up for months. Now, if that date comes along and it gets up and I go, oh my gosh, I got something else, then I try to cancel as soon as possible so they have plenty of time to fill that. But if I no-show it or I don't cancel at the last minute, or if I cancel at the last minute, they're probably gonna lose that spot, and we'll get into what that causes in the business, which causes the business a lot. And it also causes an increase in how much a company has to charge, because somebody's got to pay for that lost income in order for a company to stay in business. So, okay, so what does it cost businesses? Cost business, 1, loss of time. Your time's important, so is everybody else's. Time is what we're selling. That's why we dedicate that time. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. We dedicate that special appointment time to just that one customer. That's your time. So what we need from that is when you have that time, you're paying for that time. Just us, just you. Be present. Ask questions. Don't shoot the messenger. And make decisions on what you want. That is that time for you to do, especially the first two things. So be present. That's important. You're paying for that. Don't call later and say, hey, can you go over this with me? I wasn't at the appointment or whatever. Take the time to be there, because the appointment goes so much better and you get such better service when you're there, when you're present. So there you go. All right, loss of money. Loss of money. Money is, we're not a not-for-profit. We're not a government agency. We can't run off of a deficit. Everybody that works here has a family to feed. They have bills to pay. They have fun stuff they'd like to do. But at the end of the day, that money's got to come from somewhere. My money that I pay myself, I don't get to keep all the money that just comes in here. I'm the owner. I get a salary and then I get a bonus. That I work just like everybody else does here. So money, loss of money is big. So that money has to come from somewhere. So in order to help the general world, you definitely want to keep organized so this doesn't happen, so we can keep that low, so we can keep our prices low and very reasonable. Okay. Disrupts continuity of care for homeowners. So when you have a no-show or a last-minute cancel, I know people act like, oh my gosh, we're dying for this business, and we'll do anything. That's not the way service companies are. It really isn't. Not anymore. There's such a shortage of good service companies and tradesmen and everything else. Every minute counts. And so respect that time. We respect your time by giving you those windows and being there on time and only having that time for you. So give that respect back and get your money's worth out of that. But the loss of time is so somebody else could have had that appointment, somebody who really needed that appointment. But since we only take one appointment time and we don't bump people for other things that someone might consider an emergency or what have you, that time is for you. And the loss of money. Obviously, if we have a no-show or we show up at your house and no one's there, or a last-minute cancellation, I forgot I had this, or I have something more important than what I set up with you. I have something more important to me than what I said. Anyways, that is lost revenue, and people are just fill it with something else. Well, it's not so easy, not as easy as it sounds. It does take a lot of office time. It takes a lot of manpower. It takes us finding someone who can let us come out at the last minute. So it's so much better, so much easier, so much more cost effective if you stay organized on that. We'll get into how to do that. Disrupts continuity of care. So that gets back into that. We might have a little old lady who's got a blocked furnace, but we couldn't bump her because we had taken your appointment, and we're going to keep that appointment because that was our dedication to you. And now, she had to call someone else, go somewhere else, what have you, might have gotten bad service from somebody else. She could have had that time slot because you set an appointment that you couldn't keep. So often people will call and they'll say, well, yeah, I'm going to call around. Go ahead and put me down for that, and I'm going to call around. And we don't do that. We can't do that, because what we found was when we did that, people wouldn't get back to us and say, hey, I decided to do this or do that, and they didn't cancel. Then we find out about it at the last minute, and they forgot about it or what have you. Kind of like we had a gentleman this morning who called and said, hey, you guys overcharged us. Well, the nice thing about that is we record phone calls. We have, my fingers are blue because I was working on the bathroom this morning, so... Yeah. Anyways, we have call recordings, we have transcripts, everything. So it was a very easy conversation. No, we didn't overcharge you. Here's the transcript from where we talked to you, and here it is. And what he had pricing from like a year ago where he called to set up an appointment and didn't set the appointment. So he had written down the price wrong, and obviously this year's different. We're also in our busiest part of the season, so we don't offer any discounts or anything because we're so backed up with work that our pricing is for seasonal pricing. So that's what it is. So anyways, but with that, disrupts continuity of care. Somebody else would have loved to have that spot. There's 10 people who would have lined up and loved to have had that spot. So we want to make sure we're taking care of everybody, and it's just a general kindness to other homeowners, but a lot of people don't realize the impact they have on businesses. Just their one chimney or one service, their one doctor's office visit or whatever, how it has a general impact in the overall. And I'm going over that, why it has a general impact of the overall. So we're going to work with everybody. I'm going to work with my people. I had a carpet cleaner out yesterday. I'm a homeowner too. I spent like $500 having all my carpets cleaned in my house because we have pets. And it was kind of getting gross. We have teenagers. It was kind of getting gross. They did a great job. Shout out to Box Steam Star. I think that might be one of the first shout outs I've done, but they did a great job. And I know they've done good jobs for other customers, but they did a good job. They use a lot of the same stuff we do. They use a lot of the same language and stuff because it's important. And it avoids a lot of these problems we're talking about. So, but we want to talk with the customers. We want you to be a good customer so we can do a good job, and you want a good service company. And in order for all this to work and all of us to be able to mesh, this is the stuff that we need to do for each other. All right, so what we do, once you set an appointment with us, we have found that we can't just set an appointment and expect people to remember it. I don't know where it goes once someone sets it. Maybe they get interrupted. Maybe they have kids bugging them. Maybe they're at work and they're busy. But somewhere in this world, it just disappears. So what we do is we send emails of reminders. What we do, service, hey, this is what to expect. We send a reminder text the day before your appointment. The day before, just like your dentist does. Got that from the dentist office. They sent me a nice little text. Hey, you have a dentist appointment tomorrow at this time. Thanks for remembering. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, I do. So I look at my calendar every Sunday for the next week, and that's the other one. We call en route. So, and remind you when we're heading that way too, so you aren't waiting for us all day. So we give a couple hour window, arrive between 11 and 2, and we give you a call 30 minutes out, so you don't have to wait on us all day. We're great like that. I love service companies that do that, so I can be very, very productive. But what you get is what you give. What you give is what you get. So we all want to work together on this. So with that being said, anyways, I think I was in the middle of a conversation. My mind went somewhere else, and that's okay. I have to fast right now. I'm getting blood drawn from my doctor here in a couple hours, and I have to fast. And it's hard fasting sometimes, especially no coffee. So my brain's kind of whoa. Anyways, so let's go ahead and keep on talking about this. So what can you do? What can you do? You can write it down. That's one thing. The minute you make that appointment, write it down. Tell an accountability partner. Tell your husband. Tell your spouse. Tell your kids. Hey, I've got an appointment. We've got an appointment with this, or I've got this appointment or that appointment. My wife has hair appointment. She puts it on the calendar. I remind her of them. We work together on this because life is busy. Enter it on your calendar. Everybody has a phone. I'm looking into this phone. They're amazing. I got a Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, whatever. They all sync. I've got an office calendar. I have the girls put stuff on it. But the minute you get that, the minute you do that, put it in your calendar. The minute, as you're making that appointment, put it in your calendar. That way, you look at your appointment. Oh, that's what I was going to go over. So every Sunday, I usually down here doing some sheet metal work, getting ready for the week, etc. Yes, I have to work Sundays, business owner. Again, a lot of time, a lot of effort into it for you because we love doing this. But anyways, I'll take my calendar for the week and I write down on a little piece of paper Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I take that stuff out of my calendar and I write it down on that so I know what my goals are every day. I remember all my appointments. Okay, I'm going to have to make time for this. Then I also set an alarm in my phone the day of. I usually set it before the appointment so I know, hey, in an hour I've got a bolt from whatever I'm doing because I've got to start packing up or whatever because I've got the carpet cleaner, I've got a doctor's appointment, I've got whatever happening very, very soon. That way I don't miss it. And I'm being a kind human being working with these people, and they appreciate it too because we're not wasting each other's time on anything. Then good companies, which that doesn't happen as often as I wish it would, will call me saying, hey, we're heading to your house, so now I can break free over whatever I'm doing here at the office, go home, what have you. Not enough companies do that. Too many of them give these huge 4-hour windows, and I get it. It makes it easier for the company, but what they're doing a lot of times is they're double and triple booking. We don't do that. We give one-time slot, boom, there it is. We don't double, triple book. We don't overlap bookings and everything. That's why they're doing the 4-hour windows or an all-day window like the cable company, because they're literally trying to mesh everybody in, get the best route. And I get it from a business standpoint, but it doesn't help the homeowner a lot. And so we want to do things that are best for you here at Fluesbrothers, and I love it. It works out really well. So enter it in your calendar the second you make that appointment. We send emails and reminders. Hey, thanks for booking. Here's your appointment, blah, blah, blah. So we try to remind. Set alerts. We went over that. Set an alert. Look for your reminder text. The day before your appointment, we send you a text. Right first thing in the morning, Cheyenne does a great job. She sends it out straight off, and you get that. Look for it. People are texters these days. We used to do phone calls. No one would answer because who knows who's calling you almost every time. The other thing you can do too is Brandy actually had a good idea. She's been telling customers on our bump up list, hey, if we can get to you sooner, we'll give you a call. But we have to go down that list fast because something's happened. Someone was a no-show. Someone was a last-minute cancellation. Maybe we finished something fast. So what she'll say is put our phone number in your phone with Fluesbrothers, so you know who's calling. You know who's calling, because I don't answer my phone. I don't. Call my cell phone sometime. I don't answer it unless you're in my phone. I can't, because there's too many. It isn't even customers calling me. It's always, hey, do you want to buy health insurance or car insurance or extended warranty, stuff like that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that spam telephone call stuff, or it's been election stuff recently. How the heck they even get my phone number? It's crazy. So anyways, but look for that last minute text. We send that the morning before your appointment, not the morning of, the morning before. So it gives you plenty of time if there's a problem to give us a call. So I'm just amazed that we get no-shows, last-minute cancellations. I was doing some research for this video, and I saw that hospitals, it costs the average hospital over $3 million a year in no-shows and last-minute cancellations. 42% of made appointments are no-shows or last-minute cancel. 42%. That's sad. Let's change the curve. $3 million. We wonder why our health care is so expensive. That's insane. And it cost my company. I'm not no huge hospital. It doesn't cost me $3 million, but it still costs thousands of dollars. You just don't realize the impact. But if you ever want to talk about it, more than happy to talk to you about it. Give me a call. But this is why we do this stuff. So what is going to happen? Well, people no-showing and people last-minute cancellations and things from disorganization is always what it is. Oh, I forgot I had a doctor. Oh, I forgot I got to take my kid. Oh, I forgot I had a school. Well, how do you forget something if we're doing these items? Well, let me tell you, it's embarrassing for me to forget something, and it should be embarrassing for you too. If that happens a lot in your life, you really need to rethink all that, because that one little pebble thrown in that lake is creating ripples that affects a lot of people and a lot of things and a lot of people in life and creates problems. You don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person. That's why our company is sent you a ton of reminders. We communicate. We do all these little things. We keep the transcripts. We keep the phone calls so we can go, hey, look, this is what we had. There's no arguing. Here's the recording. Here's this. You know, let us help you out here. No problem. That way everything's good and legit. Now, the results. A lot of places have had to go to, like doctor's offices and companies and dentists and even municipalities, service companies and stuff. They've had to go to cancellation fees. I think we have a 24-hour, which is plenty of time for anybody if they need to reschedule. Now, if you do reschedule or cancel at that last minute, we have a $50 cancellation fee. So does everybody else that I ever deal with too. So this is not special. People are still shocked to this day that, oh, what do you mean there's a $50 cancellation fee? Now, what do we do with that? If you reschedule, we do collect 100% up front, because we have to do something that ingrains it into your brain, because those certain people that if you have been charged one of those fees, it was either a severe accident or you're that person. We need to change our the way we do things, and if you're that person, you've got a little problem in your life that you just need to change. It's a bad habit. So, what do we do to help you with your habit or what have you? We let you reschedule, no problem. We just have to collect 100% up front, no problem. That way it buys you in, and you know we're going to be there. Because I think a lot of people think, well, they never. I had other service companies never show up. Again, I get that. I've seen it on reviews on very big heating and cooling companies. I've seen it all over the place. We don't double book. They are double and triple booking you to keep their continuity of their schedule and a few other things. We do not do that. We have that set time for these things for you. For questions, being present, going over stuff, making sure that you know everything about your fireplace and your chimney. That's what our goal is. Our goal is to help you and be your partner in that. So that's what we want to do. So partners need to work together in order for things to mesh. That's why I make these videos. Okay, so, we will, if we got to reschedule or whatever, we just ask, we get very few no-shows, but it does happen every year. It's a lot of, and it seems to be increasing on the amount of last-minute cancellations. And there's always this fight or argument. And I think people get sometimes frustrated because you get frustrated about your own mistakes and downfalls. But let's avoid that by all these things that we went over and all these things. The nice thing is when you work with us, we've got all these systems in place to help you remember, communicate, and make your life easier. It makes our life easier. It keeps us in business doing a good job for you. So we appreciate everybody. I just wanted to go over our system and talk about this because it is a big thing, especially this time of year. And I think it increases this time of year because we've got holidays, we've got this, we've got that, we've got all this stuff going on. We've got the extra thing, and we have to wear masks. We have to be aware. We can't go to certain public things. So when there is something, we got to be ready for it. So there's just more stuff stacking on top of us. So we are trying to work with you and work for you to eliminate some of those things, make your life easier, help you remember these things. But here's some tips and here's some stuff, and just so you know, this is the reason everybody has these policies and does these things, because it costs them $50. It doesn't cover anything. It covers like a phone call. So it isn't like we're making and getting we got a whole profit center here for the $50. It kind of helps alleviate a little bit of the ouch that comes from it. But it's more, I think the only reason the $50 fee, it isn't to cover costs. It's more of a, hey, here's a little stick if you aren't going to play along with everything, et cetera, et cetera. And honestly, I haven't ever been charged a $50 fee because I don't miss too many appointments. I take all these things. I take all these deals. But thank God for the companies that actually remind, because, I'll sometimes go, oh, wait a second. I didn't know my kids had a dentist appointment today, but I just got a text about it, so I'll ask Brandy, oh my God, I forgot to do this or that. Okay, so we fixed that. So that's good. That's good that they do that. But it's just a little thing that helps remind, oh my gosh, I'm going to be out $50 if I don't do my part on this. So I think it's more of a reminder injury, I guess we could call it, than the company's making a bunch of money off you, and oh boy, they just ripped you off. And believe me, $50 these days doesn't get you very far in a lot of stuff. You should know that. Just going out to eat is like $60 for one meal. So anyways, lightheartedly, we appreciate everything. Hopefully this gave you some tips, some good reminders, things that you can help do in your life, and also helps you understand why companies and a lot of different services and things have had to go to cancellation fees, and why they send texts and all this other stuff, reminder emails, follow-up emails, all this stuff. It's for your benefit. It's for your benefit. It also helps keep the company's costs down. It also helps from the frustrations of they're trying to help new customers, and now they're having to deal with a problem that was created by the appointment they had set up for you. Again, no double, no triple booking. It's that time slot, especially for you. It's Chimney Day, and we want to answer all your questions and be there for you. So do your part. We're going to do our part. We're going to have a great partnership, and we look forward to you using us in the future. And hopefully anybody else got anything from this. I'm going to go have a good day. Also, I got to get to my doctor's appointment. And so have a great weekend. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next week, Fireplace Friday. Thanks.